Technological development is going to create a permanent underclass of individuals who are unemployable.
Universal basic income does nothing more than encourage lazy people not to work.
Universal basic income is a form of negative income tax.
There is no such thing as free money.
UBI will simplify our welfare system.
Welfare was never the answer in the first place.
COVID-19 has underscored the non-essential nature of most work.
This is just radical leftist nonsense. Redistribution of wealth, also known as socialism, has been proven time and time again not to work.
You're a racist.
You're insane. These are only a few of the many arguments that we hear from both sides of the universal basic income debate. This channel is all about the world of work. But what happens for those who can't work, who won't work, or who work their butts off but can't make a decent living? You've heard about universal basic income before. You've heard about it from Andrew Yang. You've heard about it from Ben Shapiro. You've heard about universal basic income from Kurzgesagt. How do the economics of free money work?
Not work at all. What would you do? This concept is called a universal basic income.
COVID-19 brought UBI back to the front and center, so let's explore what it is and what the arguments for and against it are. Darren D here, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Ramblin' Recruiter, the channel that seeks to help you find the job of your dreams. If you're on board with that, subscribe, click the bell, and enable notifications so you never miss a new video again. If you're interested in networking with like-minded job seekers and hearing about great new opportunities, you should join my free LinkedIn networking group. The link is below in the description, totally free. This video is being brought to you by you, my Patreon community. Visit patreon.com/ramblinrecruiter or just click the link below in the description, much easier. What is UBI? Is it the future or is it a buzzword from the left that's pie in the sky? Well, it's an ambitious social program, that's for sure, that either supplements welfare programs or replaces them. That really depends on who you ask and how far to the progressive side of the spectrum they are. The intent of universal basic income is to provide a floor, a level at which you cannot go lower, ideally lifting people out of poverty. In theory, it should give you the ability to live somewhere, eat some food, and turn the water, gas, and electricity on. Our current welfare programs tend to keep people trapped in a cycle of dependence on government handouts, creating a ceiling above which you cannot climb. UBI, on the other hand, is designed to create a floor from which you can lift yourself as high as you want. There's no restrictions on UBI, everybody's eligible. Your existence as a human being is the only qualification you need to be paid whatever the baseline amount is every single month. Now that sounds pretty simple, right? Pretty straightforward. Well, as many things are in life, it is definitely not simple, not straightforward. Arguments are numerous. Does it replace welfare or does it supplement welfare? Who pays for it? Do we tax the rich? Do we cut the defense spending budget? Where does the money come from? This issue is so toxic and so divisive that anybody who actually brings it up seriously is immediately labeled either a socialist or just plain old insane. There have been some limited experiments done on UBI both here in the United States and abroad. However, those experiments haven't really provided enough data to make a determination either way, either that it does or does not work. Some believe that UBI should replace current welfare programs. This would cut bureaucracy and the overall cost of social programs, and individuals are free to use the money as they need and as they see fit. Others think it should be an additional welfare program, keeping the existing programs in place and providing a living on top of that. Supplementing welfare with UBI is a much more progressive stance. I guess the more progressive you are, the less that you trust people to use the money wisely. Giving people too much freedom with that money might leave them unable to meet their basic needs. Other proponents of UBI think that it should be so significant that it makes working optional, enough to provide a middle-class existence for no work. The argument for this is technological development is shrinking the need for a human workforce. Before too long, most jobs will be eliminated by automation and AI. This argument advances the point of technological development should be to make life better for humans, not rob them of their ability to earn a living. Therefore, a guaranteed middle-class living is a must. Anything that you can earn above that is gravy. But, is this really the case? Will automation put us all out of work? Automation is hardly a new thing, and in over a century of automation, we certainly have not seen human beings totally replaced in the workforce. It is fair to say that the nature of human work has changed. However, humans remain an integral part of the workforce. In the early 1900s, the Ford Model T was built almost entirely by hand by human workers using hand tools who worked about 80 to 100 hours a week. Fast forward to 1936, the Ford mainline was built almost entirely using heavy machinery. Workers' hours had been cut to 37 per week. Fast forward again to 2020, and a Ford F-150 assembly plant that operates almost entirely on automation and robots. However, human workers have not seen their hours decline as they did in 1936. In fact, we're back up to early 1900s hours of 60, 80, even 100 hours of work per week. This on top of the expectation of constant connectivity, thanks to remote work and mobile devices, makes for a highly overworked human workforce. So is automation really something we need to fear? The smart money answer is maybe. Automation and AI will continue to change the nature of human work, but I don't think we're quite ready to bow down to our robot overlords just yet. Robots need maintenance, AI needs programmers, and while the very nature of work is changing from working with our hands to working with our minds, it is most definitely the case that every industry is not at risk of complete redundancy due to automation just yet. So is the argument in favor of universal basic income on the basis of technological development even valid? I leave that to you to decide.